I found the cheap-looking Sonic at Ross that everybody's been talking about today. There's a Twitter post detailing a set of figures that have been showing up at Ross that don't have very good quality. The color of the blue is darker, there's some sprue problems, there's paint quality problems. I found the same wave at both Ross and Target, but I didn't buy the Target one, and I regret that. So I'm just comparing it to the newest wave for this video, and I hope that's okay.
So this feels really bad. Hands aren't even barely on there. Oh, they do not pop off like normal. Okay, let's try that with this one. Yeah, that popped off much easier. Just see if I was being weak with this one. I'll give it a hard pull. That was at least twice as hard to pull off. These are obviously our different hands. These pegs are the same. That's interesting. This barely rotates. Oh, it is painted. The arm is painted. At least the joint for it here. That's interesting. Let me see if any of this... Just try to scratch it. Oh, the arm is painted. I'm just scratching it off with my fingernail. I have a red color beneath the paint. I assumed that these were cast in that color plastic. I can already feel the difference in the texture. Yeah, that's not painted. You can actually rotate this around. This has a lot of resistance. Like, I can't even, it's not even rotating at the shoulder. There we go. I apologize that this looks so shiny on my camera. It doesn't look as shiny in real life. So here's some bad looking paint here. Oh yeah, that just popped off. Paint job on the nose is really bad. See, it's a little bit cleaner there. Not so clean there. Eyes look pretty fine to me. The plastic of the eye, you can kind of see that it's not a great matchup there. Shoes are on there pretty tight. Joints feel stiff for sure. Oh, sorry, that leg is backward. Ooh, there's a little bit of a molding problem there. This shoe is on so tight. Wow. Alright, so here we are bending the knee. Look at this. This is just, this plastic is just breaking apart. Let me change the lens. Check this out. Something's flaking off there. Looks like there's some kind of molding on top of the joint. It's just stuck. It's bending on there. It's about to break. Alright, well, interesting. My guess is still that this is just a factory reject, but it's so bad. Look at this. I'm surprised these choices were made in the factory at all. It's not just a matter of being a different color. Just not as well glued. There's painted arms. Okay. Red paint on here. That's interesting.
My guess, I'd be happy to find out that these were actually bootlegs, but I do believe that they are factory rejects. but not factory rejects of the figure itself. Hear me out. I think these are factory rejected parts. The fact that this is all uniformly the wrong color blue makes me think that there was a bad batch of color that they all grouped together into that same wrong color. Because if it was just the whole figure is bad, what are the chances that you're going to have this dark blue with this dark blue head with this dark blue body? So I think they grouped together factory rejected parts. And I think there's other ways for it to be rejected, like this bad, I think that's a sprue. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's where a sprue was cut off. It just wasn't cut off well. And then these arms, the fact that they're painted, and it's almost kind of red beneath the surface there. That's interesting. But it's got clear joints. So the fact that they would never cast these arms in clear or like the red like that makes me think they just had a bunch of wrong arm colors as well and decided to paint them and then distribute them to smaller retailers like Ross, or not smaller, but discount places like Ross, the non-premium stuff. And then they didn't necessarily bother to do a good paint job on the nose for this, or maybe maybe this was a rejection as well. Maybe they send them all to a separate part of the factory for assembly and go from there. That's my theory. I would be happy to find out that this was a big bootleg thing, but this was fun. I only heard about it today, and so we just went out to Ross to find one. I did find one, and I'm happy that I was able to take a look tonight. Now, what I was most hoping to find was the really clear emerald. You can see the regular one is just kind of cloudy. Apparently there's a very clear one. And I have an idea of why that was a factory reject. Just a theory, throwing it out there. A toy theory. So what if, when they were originally making the emeralds, they were going to go with a more clear plastic and they actually started production that way, and then maybe they decided midway through to switch to this cloudy kind. Maybe they had done the clear ones first and then realized, they couldn't get the same consistency with some of the other colors or something, or it was more expensive to do it this way and they stopped after producing a lot of the clear ones. Well, now they have a bunch of big old surplus of extra clear ones. What if they put them in with the silver to be not such a factory reject as just a production change that they needed to get rid of surplus? I'm stretching here, but I think that's an interesting thought. And I really want one of them. So I suppose that's my answer for this. Mostly factory reject with those different details that I put forward as my thoughts on it. I will be happy to find out that they were bootlegs after all, because I love bootleg figures. But time will tell. Maybe we will get an answer, or maybe it will always remain a mystery. I see a lot of lively debate on Reddit. If you disagree that it's a bootleg, you don't have to be rude to your fellow human beings. So let me hear down in the comments. You can be rude to me. I'd love to hear what you think about it, and if you think my thoughts on this are stupid, or if you think maybe I have a point. Well, have a great rest of your night, and happy hunting!